For weeks, influencers, retailers, and fans thought Meghan Markle's new brand was about to dominate the entire lifestyle industry. The hype was massive, the PR was polished, and Meghan herself walked into the launch like someone who had already secured a throne outside the palace. This wasn't just a brand, it was her declaration to the world. I don't need royalty. I can build my own kingdom. But kings and queens aren't crowned by intention, they are crowned by execution. And execution was exactly where everything fell apart. Picture Meghan's team in those early days, smiling, celebrating, sipping some expensive herbal tea, convinced the launch was about to break the internet. They were ready for applause, for praise, for headlines screaming, Meghan Markle's brand takes over luxury market. But instead of applause, they got something they never expected: returns. Not a few, not dozens, a tidal wave. First, a handful, then dozens, then hundreds. Returns doubling, tripling, exploding like a runaway cart with no brakes. And the strangest part? Most products were returned untouched. Not opened, not used, not sampled. Still sealed, still pristine, still sad. Customers looked at the packaging and said, "Nope, keep it." They didn't even bother tasting the jam or smelling the tea. The packaging alone killed the first impression. And while Meghan's team tried to pretend everything was normal, the retail world, the people who actually decide which brands survive, went quiet. Not publicly dragging her, not posting criticism, not issuing warnings. Just silence. Emails slowed down. Calls ended early. Restock discussions evaporated as if someone pulled the plug on the entire operation. And that silence, that was the loudest rejection of all. But to understand the collapse, you have to understand the dream behind it. Because Meghan wasn't trying to sell products. She was trying to sell a fantasy, a lifestyle, a message that whispered, "I'm elegant, I'm timeless, and you can be too, if you buy this." This wasn't a side gig. This was her statement, her independence anthem, her moment to prove she could create luxury without the palace. And then came the moment that destroyed everything, the unboxing. Customers opened their packages expecting premium elegance. Something refined. Something that whispered luxury. Instead, they got the beige equivalent of a breakup text. Tissue paper thin enough to tear by breathing on it. Labels slapped on crooked, not artistic crooked, but we didn't care crooked. Packaging so dull it drained the excitement before the box was even fully open. And once people saw it, they couldn't unsee it. That moment broke the illusion. Customers paid premium prices for products that didn't look or feel premium at all. The brand's entire identity cracked open in seconds. And trust me, that was just the beginning. Because when people finally looked inside the packaging, really looked, the real disaster began. The spreads, the gems, the products Meghan imagined sitting in perfect kitchens next to designer bowls of fruit, arrived looking like they were having a personal crisis. Some runny like melted gelatin. Some practically juice. And then came the horror story, jars without seals. No freshness seal. No protection. Just a lid sitting on top like, "I'm trying, okay." Then came the cookie and crepe mixes. Customers assumed they were getting a full baking kit. Nope. When they opened the box, they discovered they needed extra ingredients. Ingredients the brand never mentioned. Imagine buying a luxury mix and being told, "Surprise. Go grocery shopping." The tea? Oh, the tea. It promised warmth and calmness. It smelled like a soft meadow dream. But once brewed, it tasted like warm water that vaguely remembered meeting tea once in college. And the decorative flowers? Meghan's whimsical signature touch? They arrived crushed, brown, brittle, like an expired arts and crafts project. But no scandal is complete without a centerpiece. And for as ever, that centerpiece was the infamous wickless candle. Customers opened their boxes and found a luxury candle with no wick. Not hidden, not buried, not misplaced. Just smooth wax pretending to be a candle. And this wasn't one shipment error. Multiple people reported it. That moment became the symbol of the entire collapse. A candle that couldn't burn. A brand that couldn't deliver. A metaphor wrapped in wax. Inside Meghan's team, panic erupted. Emergency emails. Supplier investigations. Crisis calls. No excuse could cover it. A wickless candle is the one mistake no luxury brand can spin. This was the moment Meghan herself reportedly realized something was very, very wrong. And then came the sold-out stunt. The website proudly displayed sold-out banners everywhere. But no one knew how much stock existed. Was it 100 jars? 500? 50? No one had numbers. No one had receipts. It looked impressive, until returns poured in so fast they destroyed the illusion. People realized sold out doesn't mean high demand. It might mean tiny inventory and big marketing. Retailers noticed. And they responded in the coldest way possible, by backing away silently. They didn't criticize. They didn't argue. They simply stepped aside and let the brand fall under its own weight. In the world of retail, silence is the final verdict. But then something unexpected happened. The emotional turning point. As customers returned their boxes, some left handwritten notes. Not mean, not hateful, not dramatic. Just honest. Soft. Disappointed. They said the quality didn't match the price. They wanted to love the brand, but they couldn't. They repacked items carefully, almost apologetically. They weren't returning Meghan. They were returning disappointment. And that hurt more than any headline. Eventually, everything boiled down to one moment. A quiet room. A long table. Meghan and her advisors. No cameras, no PR filters, no spin. Just numbers. Returns rising. Complaints increasing. Retailers ghosting. No amount of beige branding could hide the truth. The dream collapsed because the product didn't match the promise. So now Meghan stands at a crossroads. Does she rebuild? Does she redesign? Does she relaunch stronger? Or does she quietly walk away from the brand she hoped would redefine her post-royal identity? Because this collapse wasn't just about candles and jam. It was a lesson. Luxury isn't declared. Luxury is earned. And the world is watching exactly what Meghan Markle does next. The fall was dramatic. But the comeback, or the retreat, will determine everything. And one thing is guaranteed, whatever happens next, everyone will be watching.